The community is remembering Searsmont Assistant Fire Chief Wayne Woodbury, who died on Sunday. Assistant Chief Woodbury was being treated at Maine Medical Center in Portland ever since the explosion and fire at Robbins Lumber Mill last month. He is the second firefighter to die after that incident. A procession was held for Woodbury yesterday, going through Searsmont before arriving at the funeral home in Belfast. Woodbury was a regular at Tracy's Diner in Belfast, and the people there describe him as kind and genuine.
We have so many regulars, but some are just special. You know, some you just, they're wrapped around your little heart.
Pleasant, and he always seemed like he was up early and looking for things to do for the day. And he was a pleasant gentleman.
Funeral plans for Assistant Chief Woodbury have not yet been shared. He was 76 years old. One firefighter who had been in the hospital since the Searsmont fire is now home.
Yeah, Jacob Spaulding released from Maine Medical Center yesterday. Our Christian Harsa has more on that.
Welcome home, Jacob. Words that Jacob Spaulding's family are happy to say, and words that Jacob is happy to hear. Jacob Spaulding was in the hospital for a month recovering from his burns.
Just being back this way and seeing all the people, it's just wonderful.
Only 31 days, but it's felt like a long time.
That's right.
His sister Catherine Spaulding and godmother Maria Vowles were anxious to have him back.
Not having him here has been the hardest. He's usually never too far away when you call him.
Nope, you call him and he's there all the time. No matter what he's doing, he drops what he's doing, he comes back.
And he did answer the call last month. It was one of hundreds that fought the blaze at the Robbins Mill in Searsmont. It was one of a dozen who were injured.
He put his life on the line. You know, when you're a volunteer, you do. You don't know this is going to happen.
Emery Whitcomb, a former volunteer firefighter, says that makes Spaulding something special.
He is a hero.
I believe I'm just another average guy like everyone else. I just make the choice to make a call that no one else wants to take sometimes.
Amongst the people he serves to protect, if the call comes again, he'd answer.
I'd do it over again and make sure everyone's safe. That's the whole point of doing it. That's the whole reason I started the first time, and it's the reason I'll keep doing it.
After a month in the hospital receiving care, Spaulding says he's happy to be home. In Montville, Christian Harsa, News Center Maine.
Now, the town of Searsmont is accepting donations to help the people and the fire departments impacted by the Robbins Mill fire. For more information on how to donate, you can always visit our website.
And the Searsmont Fire Department just received a generous donation from a department in Connecticut. The North Thompsonville Fire Department announced it has donated one of its engines. The agency says passing this equipment on is an honor, adding that the fire service is built on mutual aid.
Investigators say that a fire at a home in Wells was accidental, caused by a recently changed propane tank. This happened at a home on Atlantic Avenue on Sunday night. The homeowner and his daughter were both home at the time. He suffered some minor burn injuries. The daughter was not hurt. Firefighters say a quick response at least limited the damage to other buildings.
And investigators say a fire in Stockton Springs may have been set on purpose. A home on Cross Lane was destroyed on Sunday morning. First responders say there was no electricity connected to the home. If you know anything about the incident, you are asked to call the fire marshal's office at 207-624-7076. All right, other news we're following. The city of Portland is not going to be asking certain nonprofits to make payments to the city after all.
So that's because the city council voted to not move forward with a payment in lieu of tax or pilot program. News Center Maine's Katie Delaney joining us this morning with the latest from our newsroom. Hey, Katie.
Good morning, Lee and Sharon. The goal of the pilot policy was to address Portland's tax burden. The city has about $4 billion worth of tax-exempt property. City officials estimate that if those properties were subject to property taxes, tax bills for other property owners could be about 20% lower. Under the policy, nonprofits with above $10 million in property would have been asked to pay about 40% of what they would typically owe in property taxes. City Councilor Kate Sykes argued the growing tax-exempt base is placing a burden on Portland taxpayers.
We have services that we need to provide as a city that we do not have the resources to do. And every year around budget time, we get calls from constituents saying they can no longer afford to live in the city.
Though some city councilors said they appreciated the intent of the pilot policy, they ultimately voted it down 7-2. They voiced concerns about the effectiveness of the policy and straining the city's relationships with nonprofits. Several nonprofits spoke out against the policy, including Maine Health, colleges, and more. Though the policy would be voluntary, some nonprofit leaders worry they would be pressured into participating, and the money would have to come out of essential services they provide for people.
Unfortunately, this proposal doesn't set us up as partners, but rather treats us as a burden that needs to be solved. The nonprofits in the community want to serve the people of Portland, and we want a good working relationship with the city.
The final vote to reject the pilot policy comes after months of discussions and postponements. I'm Katie Delaney, News Center Maine.